Hi everyone, welcome to part 2 for our couples counseling informative videos. My name is Isabel.
And I'm Alex.
Today we're going to be talking about something that's very important, something that's already incorporated with the work that we do, but that's why it's even more important to talk about it from a educational perspective. So we're going to talk about how to be a culturally responsive couples therapist. So first and foremost, with all of our work, the culture of someone is already in the room. It informs how we build relationships, how we keep them, how we interact with people that we are in a relationship with, and it bleeds into everything else into our lives. So first things that we do with even individual couples is broach. Alex is going to get more into that and what that looks like and what's important to talk about specifically later. But first things first, that is how couples counseling can integrate culturally responsive practices, is by broaching. Another thing is making no assumptions. So this just means that we, as counselors now and in the future, make sure that we remember that the client is the author and expert of their own lives and their own relationship. So it wouldn't be our place to put our cultural values onto what they believe is valuable to them. For example, if we feel like marriage is something that culturally we believe in, but our clients don't, that wouldn't be our place to inform them that the next step would be to get married. That's just one practical example of how we don't place our own cultural values on our clients. And that is consistent, and that is what you should expect out of your couple counselor when you go to couples counseling. Next is to hold a stance of cultural humility. This is something that all couples counselors should try to achieve, and especially in couples counseling when culture is so integrated with how they live in their relationship. So cultural humility is something that the counselor should engage in, and it just means that they are self-aware of their cultural values and how they may impact that, how they interact with people. Growth, so this means that they are not just staying stagnant in what they know about different cultures. Alex will get more into some specific ways to learn about different cultures later in the video, and not just accept other cultures, but value other cultures. So that is key to creating empathy and unconditional positive accord with your couples in the room. So yeah. Lastly, how we have established ourselves as culturally responsible couples is basically by taking everything I just said and not forgetting that when we are in a room with a couple. So yeah.
So some ways that we approach counseling in culturally responsive ways would include, first and foremost, that we affirm and broach with our clients our own attitudes and beliefs. And then we allow the space for our clients to also share their own attitudes and beliefs. And so part of this involves attending to our experiences of privilege and marginalization. And so oftentimes we will begin our sessions together at the onset of counseling by discussing these identities and how they will influence the counseling experience. We also engage in culturally responsiveness by growing in our knowledge about social justice issues in our society, by attending conferences and seminars where we can grow in that knowledge. And we really find this valuable because we don't expect our clients to educate us on their cultural history, and at the same time we still welcome their unique perspectives of their experiences embedded within their cultural communities. So also we regularly engage in reflecting on our attitudes, beliefs, cultures, values, and assumptions, and how we've experienced privilege and also discrimination from those different concepts. And so that we engage in this reflective process so that we can be aware of how they're coming into the counseling session, and to, as much as possible, prevent them from interfering with the counseling process. And lastly, we just advocate for our clients consistently on both the institutional and civic level by engaging in social justice movements, and also things like lobbying for the rights of minoritized communities. And so kind of moving on from that, how couples counseling can be beneficial for couples or partners in terms of reinforcing their cultural strengths, not only strengthening their relationship but growing their cultural strengths as well, is that minoritized couples can, as a result of this practice and incorporating culture into counseling, the couples can develop a sense of unity with both each other and with their cultures. And this is because when they're listening to one another's struggles with racial trauma and discrimination, and they respond to each other with empathy, they can kind of heal. Some of those racial trauma wounds can heal and provide strong connections again with their culture and each other. And then lastly, partners can connect with one another through both their shared cultural values and the cultural values that may differ, by sharing what they mean to them specifically and also what they mean to their relationship. So this can also be a source of unity for the couple. For example, racially based expressions found in different cultures can foster a deeper connection and be a source of strength for couples by kind of giving them a mantra or a meaning for their relationship. And that's basically the main ways that culture kind of is incorporated into couples counseling.
Yeah, and what you should expect from couples counseling is a counselor who values everything that we spoke about today, and is hopefully a culturally responsive, part of a culturally responsive practice, and advocates for social justice. See ya.